You can't keep snakes into your backyard and expect them only to bite your neighbors. This is the strong criticism made by the US official Hillary Clinton in front of the Pakistani official Hina Rabbari Khan in 2011. Now this criticism directly comes directly on the Pakistan's state sponsored terrorism policy. Right now, Pakistan is going through civil right like a situation where many states from the Pakistan, for example, Balochistan, Sindh, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, they are witnessing violent activities. Many terrorist activities are happening into these states and people are demanding separation from the Pakistan. Now these activities into the Pakistan, this violent activity into the Pakistan is only the consequences of the Pakistan state run terrorism policy. So that's why that statement is very relevant in today's Pakistan political situation. Namaskar and Jai Hind. I am Dinesh Nandurbare. Welcome you into the Gyan Jyoti education. So guys, you can see these are the certain news clippings from the newspapers. These news clippings are basically the visible manifestation of the dwindling political situation into the Pakistan. Right now, Pakistan is facing many problems. Recently, state-sponsored terrorists from the Pakistan entered into the Indian Jammu and Kashmir region and made an attack on the tourists in the Pahalgam. In response, Government of India launched Operation Sindoor and eliminate all those terrorists came into the Pakistan which got safe haven into the Pakistan. Pakistan called this action as an act of war, but India called it as a right to self-defense. But within this time, during this period also, Pakistan is facing another problems. For example, many people from the Balochistan, many people from the Sindh, they are declaring independence from the Pakistan. And that's why today's session is very important. Many Balochi leaders and many Balochi fighters ask help from the India. They are demanding help from the India, just like India did provide help to the East Pakistan, that is today's Bangladesh, in 1971. So what is the issue? Will India help Bangladesh? Let's see into this lecture. So guys, these are the cuttings. I will read these cuttings for you. The Republic of Balochistan announced trends on social media as Baloch leaders declare independence from Pakistan. है ना कि बलोची लीडर जो है पाकिस्तान के अंदर उन्होंने अपना एक नया राष्ट्र घोषित कर दिया, रिपब्लिक ऑफ बलूचिस्तान, है ना. अब ये बहुत बड़ी न्यूज है वहां पे. सो दिस न्यूज शोज द पॉलिटिकल chaos into the Pakistan, है ना. There is another news after Balochistan. Freedom calls government in Sindh as protesters slam Pakistan human rights violation. So similar situation like in Balochistan, Sindh is also facing the same political crisis. So that's why it is very important to understand what is going on into the Pakistan and what are the implications of the situation into the Pakistan with regards to the India-Pakistan relationship. Okay. So before going forward, there is an important notification for you. Recently, just 12th results have been published and many young aspirants want to become a civil servant. They want to become an IAS and IPS. For those students, early preparation is a golden opportunity. If they start early, then there is a high possibility that they will get selected into the first attempt. So that's why to help those students, Gyan Jyoti Education have come up with a very beautiful batch called as Nirman. Now what is this Nirman batch? This Nirman batch is a 3-year foundation batch for the UPSC students. Now, in this batch, we are going to offer you 3-year foundation course in which in the first year, we are going to complete your all the fundamentals for the UPSC examination. For example, your NCRTs and your answer writing practices will be start here, fundamentals. In the second year, we are going to complete your total syllabus for the UPSC examination, for prelims examination and for the mains examination. And in the third year, we are going to put you under the rigorous test and your practices. Also, we are going to help you in order to improve your personality for your personality test, that is interview. So that's how this 3-year course will be is designed to help those aspirants who want to become a civil servant by cracking their examination into the first attempt. And to more information regarding this batch, you can call on this number, that is 788 799 2834. I will repeat this number for you, 788 799 2834. Just give a call on this number and get the further information regarding this batch. Okay, we will continue our topic. So let us understand the geography of the region we are talking about. Okay, so this is the map of Pakistan, and this is the map of India, and this region is the Jammu and Kashmir region. Okay, so as you can see, this is Balochistan and this is Sindh. Sindh having a border with the India. This is the Gujarat and Rajasthan side of the India, and Sindh is sharing the border between India with the India. While you can see the Balochistan, Balochistan being the largest state geographically into the Pakistan. This Balochistan having a border with the Afghanistan and as well as Iran. So Balochistan is sharing border of Pakistan between Afghanistan and Iran countries. Also, this Balochistan having a coastal region also. Now this Balochistan is very important state into the Pakistan. It is nearly half the size of the total Pakistan. Okay. Now you can see here is another state called as Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. This is also known as Northwest Frontier Province. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa भी बोला जाता है इसको. Now this province is also facing such political upheaval. है ना? यहाँ पे भी आपको विद्रोह दिखाई दे रहा है. तो right now in Pakistan, except Punjab, almost every other state is battling against the Pakistani army. Everybody is charging Pakistani army for the humanitarian violences in this region. The same way Pakistani army conducted a humanitarian violations into the eastern Pakistan in 1971. जो आज का बांग्लादेश है, 1971 में भी वहां पे पाकिस्तानी आर्मी ने लाखों लोगों को मारा था. भारत ने इसको जेनोसाइड बोला था. इसी डर से कि हमारी जान संपत्ति इसको नुकसान है पाकिस्तानी आर्मी से, बहुत सारे बांग्लादेशी उस समय के लोग भारत चले आए थे रेफ्यूजीज की तरह. 1 करोड़ से ज्यादा भारतीय बांग्लादेशी लोग भारत में रेफ्यूज ले रहे थे. एंड दैट्स हाउ इंडिया इज फेसिंग अ ह्यूज प्रॉब्लम, ह्यूज बर्डन, ह्यूज प्रेशर फ्रॉम द बांग्लादेशी साइड. एंड इंडिया हेल्प Bangladeshi people by creating Mukti Vaini, providing them weapons and providing them military training. And this Mukti Vaini fight against the Pakistani army into the Bangladesh, and that's how the Bangladesh liberation movement was started. Correct? So similar kind of help is been asked by the Balochi people, है ना, कि तुमने जैसे बांग्लादेशी मुसलमानों की मदद की थी 1971 के वॉर में, उसी तरीके से बलोचिस्तान को भी मदद कर दो तुम लोग. तो इस तरीके से वो मदद मांग रहे हैं ना. दे वांट अस ऑफिशियली रिकॉग्नाइज बलोचिस्तान एज अ सेपरेट कंट्री. दे वांट अस दैट इंडिया शुड ओपन Balochi embassy into the India. That means they want us to grant separate statehood to the Balochi. And for reminder, India was the first country in 1971 also to recognize Bangladesh as an independent and separate country. So similar kind of help these the Balochi people are today asking from us. So this is Balochistan. Now Balochistan having a great importance for the Pakistan also, because just I told you Balochistan share border with India and Iran and Afghanistan. That is the first important feature of the Balochistan here. Another is that Balochistan almost contribute 44% of the total Pakistani geography. है ना, लगभग आधा हिस्सा पाकिस्तान का बलोचिस्तान है. कि अगर मान लो बलोचिस्तान पाकिस्तान से अलग हो गया तो आधा पाकिस्तान गायब हो जाएगा वहां से, है ना. सो दैट्स हाउ बलूचिस्तान इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, है ना, ज्योग्राफिकल इंटीग्रिटी के लिए. अनदर थिंग इज दैट दिस बलूचिस्तान हैविंग अ कोस्टल बाउंड्री, है ना. पाकिस्तान अगर आप देखो यहां पे सिंध और बलूचिस्तान ये दो प्रांत जो है ना ये अरेबियन सी है, नीचे क्या है यहां पे अरेबियन सी. So Balochistan and Sindh is having a coastal boundary for the Pakistan here. तो अगर बलूचिस्तान निकल गया तो तकरीबन 700 किलोमीटर से ज्यादा की यहाँ पे कोस्टल बाउंड्री है. ये जो कोस्टल बाउंड्री है ना 700 किलोमीटर से ज्यादा की. अगर बलूचिस्तान निकल जाएगा पाकिस्तान से तो पाकिस्तान के लिए यहाँ पे जो कोस्टल बाउंड्री है वो भी उनके हाथ से चली जाएगी. Yes or no? So that's why Balochistan is very very important here, है ना. Now the capital city of the Balochistan is Quetta. Always remember, capital city of the Balochistan is Quetta. So this is the geographical importance of the Balochistan, है ना. Now what is the history of the Balochistan here, है ना. So we had a history with the Balochistan and with the Pakistan, because in modern history we understand that in 1947 India and Pakistan got partition. In 1947 when the British left India, they declared lapse of paramountcy. That means all those princely state who had contract with the British Empire at the time, even they had a right to become an independent. This is called as lapse of paramountcy, correct? So under the lapse of paramountcy, Indian princely states, they had three choices. Either they can join India, they can join Pakistan, and they can remember they can be independent, correct? So these are the three different choices. Balochistan from the beginning was in the favor of India, है ना. Many leaders from this region are part of the Indian freedom movement at that time. So that's why majority of the Balochistan was in the favor of India. But since you can see here, Balochistan is geographically disconnected from India. यहाँ पे बीच में सिंध आता है ना, ये देखो ये, correct? So that's why India never took interest. Indian leader at that time never took interest into the Balochistan प्रांत, है ना. इन्होंने कभी भी यहाँ पे इंटरेस्ट नहीं दिखाया कि चलो बलूचिस्तान में थोड़ी सी हम पॉलिटिकल कैंपेन कर लेते और बलूचिस्तान को भारत का हिस्सा कर लेते. अगर ऐसा कर लेते तो शायद ये हो भी जाता, क्योंकि उतनी पॉपुलैरिटी थी भारतीय नेताओं की बलूचिस्तान में, करेक्ट. बट भारत सरकार, उस समय के भारतीय नेताओं ने कभी भी बलूचिस्तान में उस तरीके का इंटरेस्ट नहीं दिखाया, क्योंकि ज्योग्राफिकल डिसकंटिन्यूटी थी. यही एक सिंपल कारण है उसके पीछे, बाकी दूसरा कुछ नहीं है, करेक्ट. अब यहां से बलूचिस्तान की मुश्किलें शुरू हो जाती है. सो आफ्टर द पार्टीशन बलूचिस्तान वाज लार्जली कंट्रोल बाय द कलात. कलात उस समय के प्रिंसली स्टेट का नाम था. बलूचिस्तान रीजन में आप देखोगे ज्यादातर हिस्सा एक प्रिंसली स्टेट मतलब राजा के राज्य के अंदर था. उस राज्य का नाम था कलात. सो एट द टाइम ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस द मोहम्मद अली जिना प्रॉमिस कलात स्टेट दैट Pakistan will maintain the independence of the Kalat region. They will respect the independence of the Kalat region. So that's how they believe that Pakistani Muhammad Ali Jinnah will respect that promise they made to the Balochi region. So from this time of independence, from 1947 से बलूचिस्तान को कभी भी पाकिस्तान का हिस्सा नहीं होना था, है ना. उनको एक इंडिपेंडेंट स्टेट बनाना था वहां पे, है ना. कलात was the princely state who maintained the इंडिपेंडेंस ऑफ द कलात रीजन, करेक्ट. बट जैसे ही आजादी मिल जाती वहां पे, वैसे ही मोहम्मद अली जिन्ना अपना रंग दिखाना शुरू कर देते. एंड दैट्स हाउ दे फोर्सिबली कंट्रोल, दे सेंड द मिलिट्री इनटू द कलात रीजन, इनटू द बलूचिस्तान रीजन, एंड दे कैप्चर द बलूचिस्तान by using their military power. And this is the point from where Balochi people start to distrust Pakistani army and the Pakistani leadership. यही से बलूचिस्तान और पाकिस्तान के बीच में एक तरीके से 36 का आंकड़ा शुरू हो जाता है वहां पे. They never trusted on the Pakistani administration from this point onward. Understood? What was the India stand on the Balochistan after the independence? India, in some occasions, raised the humanitarian crisis into the Balochistan. Correct? In a recent year, I think in 2015 or 16, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, from his speech on the Lal Killa, raised the concern of the humanitarian crisis into the Balochistan. कि बलूचिस्तान में पाकिस्तानी आर्मी के समर्थन में पाकिस्तानी आर्मी जिस तरीके से बलूचिस्तान के लोगों के ऊपर अत्याचार कर रही है, उनको टॉर्चर कर रही है, उनकी किलिंग कर रही है, उनको गायब कर रही मतलब पूछताछ के नाम पे उठा के लेके जाती है और बाद में वो कभी इंसान दिखाई नहीं देता है वहां पे। तो इस तरीके से जो भी वहां पे अत्याचार हो रहे, ह्यूमैनिटेरियन क्राइसिस हो रहा है, उसके खिलाफ मोदी जी ने अपने भाषण में लाल किले से ये बात बोली थी वहां पे। इवन पाकिस्तान बैकलैश ओवर दिस टॉपिक ऑन द इंडिया, है ना, कि ह्यूमैनिटेरियन क्राइसिस के बारे में तुमने बात कैसे की वहां पे। लेकिन इसके अलावा कभी भी भारत सरकार ने बलूचिस्तान में किसी भी तरीके के डायरेक्ट एक्शन में खुद पार्टिसिपेट होने से अपने आप को दूर रखा था। सो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया नेवर डायरेक्टली पार्टिसिपेटेड इनटू एनी एक्शंस रिगार्डिंग द बलूचिस्तान। Yes, of course, government of India raised concern over the humanitarian crisis into the Balochistan. Understood? So that was the stand, correct? But what are the geostrategic importance of the Balochistan? है ना? The whole story of Balochistan is based on this point only. What is the importance of Balochistan for the Pakistan, and not only for the Pakistan, even for China also. अब यहाँ पे चाइना का एंगल क्या है, तो वो भी चीज एक इंटरेस्टिंग बात है, करेक्ट? नाउ पहले समझते कि इंपॉर्टेंस क्या है। फर्स्ट थिंग फर्स्ट, बॉर्डरिंग कंट्रीज, है ना। एज आई शोन यू दैट बलोचिस्तान इज शेयरिंग बॉर्डर विद ईरान एंड अफगानिस्तान, है ना। ईरान इज कंप्लीटली कनेक्टेड विद द पाकिस्तान थ्रू बलोचिस्तान रीजन। दैट मीन्स लूजिंग बलोचिस्तान मीन्स लूजिंग डायरेक्ट कॉन्टैक्ट विद द ईरान। दैट्स द फर्स्ट सेटबैक फॉर द पाकिस्तान। सो this boundary is very important for the Pakistan. So this is the first concern, है ना। This is the first importance of the Balochistan. Another is the coastline. Around 770 kilometer coastline is there. Now coastline in this modern world is very important because it provide access to the trade, है ना। Even today India having a coastline of more than 7,500 kilometer. India's largest portion of the largest portion of the trade comes from the sea route, है ना। ऑलमोस्ट 95% से ज्यादा भारत का जो व्यापार होता है वो समुद्री मार्ग से होता है, कोस्ट लाइन के थ्रू होता है वो। इन द सेम वे पाकिस्तान हैविंग the Balochistan having the coastline of 770 kilometer is beneficial for the Pakistani trade. Whatever the trade Pakistani had, this coastline is very important for that matter. Understood? Another is the minerals, है ना। Now the Balochistan being the largest geographical unit, geographical state into the Pakistan, is also houses many important minerals, है ना। Minerals like gold, coal, marble, chromite, copper, iron, है ना, gypsum, correct? So these minerals are found into the Balochistan region, है ना। एज एवरीबडी नोज कि पाकिस्तान एक तरीके से डेट रिडन कंट्री बन गया है ना। वहां पे बहुत ज्यादा कर्जा लिया है उन लोगों ने। वेन एवर यू आस्क अबाउट द डेट पाइलिंग ओवर द पाकिस्तान, पाकिस्तान रिस्पॉन्ड इट इज अ कॉस्ट फॉर द डेवलपमेंट, बट नो सच डेवलपमेंट हैव बीन सीन इनटू द पाकिस्तान, करेक्ट? एक्सेप्ट टेररिस्ट, नो वन इज गेटिंग डेवलप इनटू द पाकिस्तान। सो on what basis Pakistan accrues that such amount of loan? वो कौन से कारण है जिसके लिए पाकिस्तान इतना ज्यादा कर्जा ले रही है और वो अपने ऊपर जमा कर रही है? वो मतलब हिम्मत कहां से आती है उनकी? तो उनकी हिम्मत आती है बलूचिस्तान रीजन से, बिकॉज इट इज अ होम टू द मेनी मिनरल्स। विदाउट हेल्प ऑफ बलूचिस्तान एंड देयर मिनरल्स, पाकिस्तान कैन नेवर रिपे देयर डेट्स, कैन नॉट रिपे देयर डेट्स। ओके, सो दैट मीन्स पाकिस्तान may lose the geography of the Balochistan, but they have to repay their debts, and Pakistan will lose the ability to repay their debt if they lose Balochistan, है ना। So that's why Balochistan is very important from the future economy of the Pakistan also. Okay, another important part, another important geostrategic importance for the Balochistan is that it is the home for the Gwadar port, है ना। Now Gwadar port is very important port located into the Pakistan's Balochistan region, है ना। So this is Iran, this is Balochistan, and here near to the Iran border there is a port called as Gwadar. यहाँ पे आपको क्या दिखेगा? एक पोर्ट, उसका नाम क्या है? ग्वादर पोर्ट, ग्वादर पोर्ट। Now why this Gwadar port is very important? Because from this Gwadar to the China, correct? Xinjiang province of the China. This is the Xinjiang province of the China, and this is the Balochistan province of the Pakistan. So from this Xinjiang province to the Balochistan border, this is almost 3,000 kilometer CPEC project. This is known as CPEC project. Now this CPEC project is considered as the lifeline for the Pakistan, and the whole project is going to be prepared by China. China is putting lots of money, around $60 billion. China is putting that much amount of money into this Pakistani project and also completing this project. Why China having so interest into this project? Because this project allowing China directly access the the Arabian Sea part of the Indian Ocean. ये जो प्रोजेक्ट है सीपेक प्रोजेक्ट, इस प्रोजेक्ट के तहत चाइना को डायरेक्टली एक्सेस मिल जाएगा अरेबियन सी का. बिकॉज इफ यू अंडरस्टूड द ज्योग्राफी ऑफ द चाइना don't have direct access to the Indian Ocean, correct? So by completing this project, China will have direct access to the Arabian Sea. That's why China is having huge investment into this CPEC project. CPEC stands for China Pakistan Economic Corridor. In this project, there will be a multiple roads, railways, and industrial cities, industrial parks will be created. Understood? That's how. Now, very interesting point is that this project is going through POK's Gilgit-Baltistan region. Now, POK, as you understand, that POK is a part of India occupied by the Pakistan. And in this POK, there is the region called as Gilgit-Baltistan. Now, Pakistan have offered this region to the China to complete this project. So that's why India is objecting this project, because India considered that this is the attack on Indian sovereignty. But still, India exploring all the legal measures to oppose this project. India is citing violation of the international rule in this regard and trying to oppose this project. So that's why this Balochistan region is very, very important for the Pakistan, because once Balochistan become independent, that means it got separated from the Pakistan. Its very ambitious project, that is CPEC project, directly it will go into the nutshell, है ना. उसका पूरा अस्तित्व ही खत्म हो जाएगा अगर बलूचिस्तान यहां से अलग हो गया. और अगर बलूचिस्तान अलग हो जाता है, सीपेक प्रोजेक्ट नहीं होता है, तो चाइना की पूरी इन्वेस्टमेंट पाकिस्तान के अंदर जो हो रही है पूरी की पूरी धरी की धरी रह जाएगी, खत्म हो जाएगी वहां पे, है ना. सो दैट्स व्हाई फॉर द पाकिस्तान बलूचिस्तान इज अ वेरी 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 इंपॉर्टेंट इशू, है ना. इस तरीके से बलूचिस्तान का एक जियो स्ट्रेटेजिक इंपॉर्टेंस बनता है. नाउ व्हाट आर द इश्यूज, करेक्ट. नाउ we have learned the importance of the Balochistan region, that Balochistan having the rich mineral resource with themselves. Balochistan is implementing a very ambitious CPEC project which will provide job opportunities and the growth opportunities for this region. Why Balochistan is demanding separate nationhood, why they want to separate from the Pakistan? So the answer lies is that the discriminatory policy by the Pakistani, है ना, discriminatory policies created by the Pakistani. These are the same discriminatory policies which are implemented against the Bengali Muslims before 1971, है ना. And many Bengali Muslims feel alienated within their Pakistan country. Before 1971, the Bangladesh is known as East Pakistan, and it is largely a house of the Bengali Muslims at that time. But the Pakistan, which is predominantly controlled by the Punjabi Muslims, they never recognize this Bengali Muslim as their citizen. They consider them as a second-grade citizen, and that's why there were tortures and humanitarian crises into the East Pakistan, and hence people revolted and new Bangladesh is created. The similar type of humanitarian crisis is going on into the Balochistan. Again, the Punjabi Muslims into the Pakistan, they discriminate with the Balochi Muslims and they created humanitarian crisis into the Balochistan. We can see the half of the portion of the Pakistan is the Balochistan, but it is the most poor region of the Pakistan, है ना. Poverty is at peak, है ना. Literacy is nowhere, absence of law and order. So such kind of situation is present in the Balochistan. So the political neglect is one reason for which the Balochi people want separation from the Pakistan. Another issue with the Balochistan is the resource exploitation. For Balochi people, Pakistani army is just exploiting, or the Pakistani government is just exploiting the rich mineral resources with the Balochistan. And in return, the Balochistan is getting nothing. Nothing means nothing. They have rich resources, yet they are very, very poor. All the wealth is extracted by the Punjabi Pakistani. As per the Balochistan, all the resources are extracted from the Punjabi Pakistani. Correct? So that's why resource exploitation is another cause cited by the Balochistan. Another thing is that CPEC project. Balochi people does not like the CPEC project because under the CPEC project, Balochi people are not getting any job opportunities. In fact, the Chinese people coming into this region and they are doing all the activities. That means the Balochi land is used for this project, but no Balochi is getting any kind of benefit from this project. So that's why the people from the Balochistan is opposing the CPEC project. They are clearly saying कि इस प्रोजेक्ट से हमको कोई फायदा ही नहीं हो रहा है, ना हमको पैसा मिल रहा है, ना हमको किसी तरीके की जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिल रही है. So that's why they were opposing. So to oppose this project, these Balochi people resorted to the violence. They frequently attack on this Chinese worker engaged into the CPEC project. Okay. Hence, to protect these workers under the pressure of the Chinese government, Pakistani have put huge army or huge military protection to these Chinese people. Hence, whenever there is such incidents happening into the Balochi region where Balochi attack on the Chinese, Pakistani army retaliate with the large amount of force. Correct? So the Pakistani army abducting many civilians there, torturing them, killing them, है ना? तो प्रिजन के अंदर हत्या हो जाना, ये सारी चीजें आम बात हो गई. मतलब वहां पे तो हालत इतनी खराब हो गई है अकॉर्डिंग टू द बलोची लीडर्स कि वहां पे अगर कोई बच्चा थोड़ा सा बड़ा हो जाता है तो वो बच्चा गायब हो जाता है. वहां पे पाकिस्तानी आर्मी उनको सीधा वहां से गायब कर देती है. करेक्ट? सो सच काइंड ऑफ narratives we heard about the Pakistan here, Balochi region particularly. Correct? So basic needs are ignored. Just I told you, the Balochi region being the poorest region into the Pakistan, they charge Pakistani government that the basic needs for the Balochi are ignored by the government. है ना कि अगर आप यहाँ पे इतने बड़े बड़े प्रोजेक्ट रन कर रहे हो, हमारी जमीनों का इस्तेमाल कर रहे हो, तो हमको कुछ बेसिक जरूरतें तो मिलनी चाहिए. खाना, पानी, अच्छी शिक्षा, ये सारी चीजें मिलनी चाहिए. Right now the Balochi people are saying that they are Balochi from almost 10,000 years. Now they become Islamic from almost 1,500 years ago, and now they become Pakistani from almost 75 years ago. तो 75 साल से पाकिस्तानी है, 1,500 साल से इस्लामिक और 10,000 साल से बलोची है. तो पाकिस्तानी सरकार को और पाकिस्तानी आर्मी को सीधा सीधा संदेश मिल रहा है दैट आवर आइडेंटिटी इज नॉट पाकिस्तानी, दैट वी आर अ बलोची एंड वी आर अ सेपरेट नेशन देन द पाकिस्तान. सो दैट्स द स्ट्रेट मैसेज दे गिव टू द वर्ल्ड. सो दैट्स व्हाई मेनी इंसर्जेंट ग्रुप्स हैव ब्रॉट ऑन द सरफेस इन द लास्ट डिकेड्स, है ना. सो दैट्स व्हाई वो हिलरी क्लिंटन का जो बयान था ना, वो इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है कि तुम दूसरों की कंट्री में बर्बादी करने के लिए टेररिज्म को स्पॉन्सर करोगे तो वही आइडियोलॉजी तुम्हारी भी कंट्री को बर्बाद कर देगी. करेक्ट? सो इसी कंटेक्स्ट में वो हिलरी क्लिंटन का बयान काफी इंपॉर्टेंट बन जाता है. सो दैट्स व्हाई वी कैन सी मेनी इंसर्जेंट ग्रुप्स हैव बीन क्रिएटेड इनटू दिस रीजन. फॉर एग्जांपल BLF, that is Balochistan Liberation Front, BRG, Baloch Republican Guard, BLA, Balochistan Liberation Army. Now this BLA is recently into the news. ये अभी कुछ हफ्ते पहले न्यूज में थी. Why? Because this BLA actually hijacked the whole train with the 400 plus passengers. Correct? 400 से ज्यादा passengers की एक भरी हुई ट्रेन को इन्होंने हाईजैक कर लिया and they were demanding that Pakistani army, Pakistani government should release certain Balochi leaders. Understood? So to free their leaders, these people from the Balochistan Liberation Army hijacked the whole train. The whole world got shocked by this event. Now that's why the Baloch Liberation Army was in the current affair, was in the focus in the recent past. So that's why these insurgent groups are very, very, very important in order to understand the whole scenario into the Balochistan. So guys, we just heard about the CPEC project. Let us understand what is that project. So CPEC stands for China-Pakistan Economic Corridor Project, correct? It's a multi-billion-dollar infrastructure and connectivity project launched in 2015 as a part of Belt and Road Initiative of China. So China having an ambitious project called as Belt and Road Initiative, under which China want to modernize the old Silk Route. तो आप सबको पता होगा कि हजारों साल पहले एक सिल्क रूट होता था जो चाइना से यूरोप तक एक कनेक्टिविटी प्रोवाइड करता था. चाइना उसी सिल्क रूट को मॉडर्नाइज करने के लिए उसको नए अवतार में लॉन्च करती है एज अ बेल्ट एंड रोड इनिशिएटिव. CPEC project is a part of that Belt and Road Initiative. Under the CPEC project, from Chinese Xinjiang region to the Pakistan Balochistan region, there will be a 3,000 kilometer infrastructure project. So it's a part of the China's BRI project, correct? Now this project is connecting Kashgar in the Xinjiang province of the China to the Gwadar port into the Balochistan, जो मैंने थोड़ी देर पहले आपको रूट बताया था. Now the whole project is about 3,000 kilometer long, which includes multiple projects, railways, roadways, है ना, multiple infrastructure projects. So all these pack of project is called as China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, correct? Around $60 billion, that's huge, है ना? So that much amount of investment have been done by the China into this project. But what are the concerns for this project, है ना, by India? भारत के लिए यह प्रोजेक्ट इतना चिंतित क्यों है? The first thing first, that this project involve POK, है ना, Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Just I had shown you that this project is going through this region, है ना, यहां से ये प्रोजेक्ट जा रहा है. Now this region is Pakistan occupied Kashmir's Gilgit-Baltistan region. So Gilgit-Baltistan, which is a part of POK. POK is Pakistan occupied Kashmir, मतलब पाकिस्तानी आर्मी ने यहाँ पे कब्जा करके रखा, ये हमारे भारत के कश्मीर का हिस्सा है. So that's why India is objecting to this project. Why? Because Pakistan have granted POK, which is the disputed land, to the China, which is the third country, correct? So Pakistan is allowing India's land to the China without concerning India. So that is an act against the India's sovereignty, India's integrity. So that's why government of India is challenging this project. So that is the one important reason to be concerned. Another is Gwadar port. Now why Gwadar port? Because China is developing that port and India is facing concern regarding this development. Why? Because China is going to use that project for their military, as their military base also. And China's policy of encircling India at different location is also known as string of pearls. String of pearls means what? Let us consider that this is India. Anna? Correct? Now this is India. So what is China is doing? China is encircling India by creating different projects around the India, है ना. तो चाइना क्या कर रहा है? भारत को घेर रहा है, अलग अलग जगह पे अलग अलग प्रोजेक्ट बना के. इसलिए आप देखो, चाइना इज इन्वेस्टिंग इनटू द ग्वादर पोर्ट, है ना. चाइना इज इन्वेस्टिंग इनटू द कोलंबो पोर्ट, कोलंबो पोर्ट ऑफ द श्रीलंका, है ना. चाइना इज इंटरेस्टेड इनटू द मालदीव्स आल्सो. नाउ चाइना इज इंटरेस्टेड राइट नाउ इनटू द Bangladesh, correct? So recent news are there that Bangladesh is offering land to create a airport by the Chinese government here. So China is encircling India and now this is called a string of pearls. So Gwadar, India consider Gwadar is a part of string of pearls to encircle India, है ना. And now if the China encircle India, that's a threat to the India's national security, because China being the enemy of the India, India and China fought war in 1960s, China being the enemy of India. Such position, strategic position by the Chinese military is very, very detrimental for our national security. So India is raising concern over the development of this project. Understood? Again, China-Pak alliance is another issue because India raising the concern that China's funding in the name of CPEC is misused by the Pakistani officials to sponsor terrorism into the India. Correct? Even China has raised the concern against the Pakistani officials regarding the misproportionate use of the investment by the Pakistani officials. Correct? So these are the reports that which suggest that Pakistani is misusing the fund given to the Pakistanis are misusing the fund given by the China to the CPEC project. So India is concerned about this project, that the fund going into this project is misused by the Pakistan to spread terrorism into the India. So these are the different concerns. Okay, what is India's official stand? So as I told you recently that India boycotted this project. India raised this issue at the international forum. India boycotted the Belt and Road Initiative Forum in 2015 itself. India said we are not part of this project. Again, India objected the CPEC project going through the POK region. So these are the certain objections raised by the India against this CPEC project. Understood? Now, on this background, Balochi leaders are requesting to support. They slams UN's silence on the Pakistan humanitarian violation into the Balochistan, and they're ready to take help from the India. So this is the broader headline from the famous newspaper that Balochistan wants India's help. They slams international communities that they are singularly silent on the issue. Okay, so they are wanting help from the India, that India should help them as India helped East Pakistani in 1971. Now the important question in front of us, that will India support the Balochistan separatist movement? So here is the point. As I told you the history also, that India always stand in front with the Balochi people when they face humanitarian crisis. India have had always opposed the humanitarian crisis into the Balochistan. Just I told you that Indian Prime Minister also tried to internationalize this issue by highlighting this issue into its famous independence speech. That Balochistan is facing humanitarian crisis. India is always in support of the Balochi people when there is a humanitarian crisis by the Pakistani officials and the government in Balochistan. But India will not stand with any kind of terrorist activity. That's India's position. India is always firm on this position that we cannot support the terrorist activity. So that's why I'm not sure that India is going to support any kind of violent activity into the Balochistan, but yes, India can support Balochistan demand that international community should interfere into this matter, and please look into the Pakistani army's humanitarian crisis into this region. Okay, what do you think about the issue? What India should do regarding this issue? You can comment on this thing into the comment box. Thank you.